So hello everyone, welcome to Project Management OPN 603 Spring 2021 delivery. My name is Saim Hussain. I'm your host and lecturer, and this is a welcome message for all of you. So in this video, I would like to give you an overall summary about this course, and also I would like to give you an update about myself. So who am I and whether I'm eligible to teach you this course or not, and things like that. Now, first of all, I feel a bit underdressed wearing just t-shirt and providing lectures to MBA students. Obviously, we are in a different world, as you'd understand. Currently, I'm sitting in Sydney, Australia, and the weather here is probably 30 degrees, so it's very humid and sticky. So I didn't have any choice but to just wear my t-shirt, but probably you will see me in a more formal attire at some point. I think it's really important to tell you about myself, because I think it's really important for yourself to know who's the person on the other side chewing my brain. So I'll give you a summary about myself. So if you had a chance to look into the intro video in this course, I give you a snippet about myself. So I'm an academic, a researcher, and also a professional with more than 17 years of work experience altogether. So currently I'm residing here in Sydney, Australia, but very soon I will have the pleasure and honor to join the GSM in BRAC. So I will actually go back to Bangladesh and then start teaching, which is quite unlikely and surprising to a lot of other colleagues and academics, because everyone was asking to me, why would you be coming back to Bangladesh when you are in Australia? So there's lots of things that I will share with you, but I think it's important to give you a summary about myself. So I did a PhD here in Australia from one of the top universities here, UNSW. The focus of my PhD was on entrepreneurship. Prior to that, I've also done an MPhil degree from University of Canberra. So these are the degree that I have done here, but prior to that I was in Bangladesh, and I've studied in Bangladesh as well. My BBA and MBA was in Bangladesh in a public university in Bangladesh, Rajshahi University. So I was born and brought up in Rajshahi, so I don't know if some of you may be from Rajshahi, so you'll be able to better relate with me. So I started my career in the telecom sector in Bangladesh, where I've worked probably 4 or 5 years. And after that, I had that eternal thirst to gain more knowledge, and for that I sailed my boat to here in Australia. So that was the first time I came here, started doing my research degree, fell in love with teaching and academia, although this was probably the last career choice I would have had, because never in my worst nightmare I thought that I would become a teacher, a lecturer, because I had really not so great experience back in Bangladesh. But anyway, I eventually became a lecturer at universities, so I've taught into some of the top universities here for 7 years, including UNSW, Southern Cross University, University of Canberra. So these experiences have enriched me with really world-class education. So I was really inspired by the difference that I have observed here compared to what I've seen in Bangladesh, and it felt like it's a light year difference. So I thought that after receiving all of this education, and also my research was, by the way, was on entrepreneurship, which gave me the opportunity to interview great minds like Sir Fazle Hassan Abed and popular social entrepreneurs in Bangladesh. So it really inspired me to offer some value back to the society where I belonged. And that inspiration actually led me to think that how about I go back to Bangladesh and start teaching there. So that's when I got in touch with GSM, came to know about GSM, and I thought, I'll start teaching with GSM. So it's a totally different experience for me altogether. So yeah, that's pretty much about myself in a nutshell. Apart from academia, I've also worked as a consultant for some of the Australian state government departments. So close to 4 years I've worked in health, in education, in strategy, in governance and policy. So these also gave me sound experience about project management and business and strategy and things like that. By the way, disclaimer that I would prefer to have this course delivered entirely in English, because I think at this level it's absolutely essential that all of us are competent enough to speak in English. But having said that, we can also sometimes chit chat in Bangla, because obviously আমি বাংলাতেও কথা বলি বা বাংলা আমার মাতৃভাষা. So I'm very much comfortable speaking in both language. So, but yeah, I definitely prefer that we will carry on with English. So in this video, I thought I will give you some updates about this course and also some of the expectation that you may have. So we set up our expectation from the very beginning, so we know about everything very detailed from the very beginning. So I have my slides and everything. This is my office currently. I will share this with you in Bucks. I'm still getting familiar with the terminologies used in BRAC. So it's my probably 7th day as an external employee of BRAC. So I'm still getting used to. So yes, in Bucks I will update the lecture slides and also this video as well. So some of the points that I have made in this welcome video, I will try not to make it too long. So first of all, the learning objective in this course, as you all know, it's project management and you are expected to learn about project. So the specific learning objective in this course would be to understand the project management concepts, scope, budget and schedule management, risk, quality and resource management, stakeholder and communication management, hands-on experience and project life cycle management. I think it's really important for us to be able to set up our expectation from the very beginning. So for that reason, it's obviously very important to understand what are the core learning outcomes. So the core learning outcomes in these projects are be able to plan the project for success, understand how to manage different stakeholders, understand critical path of the project, manage effective communication, deliver to meet organization objective. So you see, the landscape of project management has evolved significantly in the past decade or so. The reason I say so, and you probably heard me saying in the introductory video that I had put together, so I mentioned that project management has become one of the most important tools these days for organizations, because the organizations these days are working in a very fast-paced environment, but at the same time resource is also becoming more constrained because the competition is very fierce. So for that reason, every organization out there need to ensure that they deliver exactly what they have set out in their objective. And project management is a discipline that ensures that anything that has been planned and that is executed properly and the desired goals are achieved. So I will not give you too much about what is project management and things like that. So I'm leaving that for our topic 1 in our week-on discussion, which I will upload as well. But for this welcome video, I'd just like to briefly say that this course will give you an inside-out perspective about project management, and it is highly expected that after doing this course, you will all become a savvy project manager. Now, regardless of whatever discipline or industry or whatever you do, but you'll all be able to manage projects effectively. Okay, so one of the most important topics would be the assessment structure. So what are the core assessments that we will have in this course? Now, as far as I came to know in my 7th day in BRAC, is that BRAC follows a structure of the assessment, which includes these 6 assessments. So that involves quizzes, which will be based on our weekly classes. So you are expected to watch the uploaded lectures and learn from those, and then you are expected to answer those quizzes. So this will be a formative assessment which will help you to learn progressively rather than leaving everything towards the end date. There will be some case analysis, there will be individual and group assessment, midterm project, and final exam. Now, I will highlight that there might be a little bit of tweaking in the structure of the assessment because I'm still in conversation with the administrators and also with my dean that how can I simplify the assessments, because my goal is not to have this unit as a very assessment heavy unit with cumbersome assessment with lots of deadline, but at the same time I want to have a very strong and fair assessment which will give you very practical knowledge regarding project management. So for now, I will just upload these 6 different assessments with the corresponding percentile of each weight of each of these assessment, but definitely I will come back to you with more specific deadlines, more specific structure of the assessment, which will help you to understand this course. For the format of the delivery, you might be familiar much better than I do, is that the weekly topics will be uploaded in the form of short lecture videos, and then we will have the consultation hour during the class time allocated. So our time allocated is Monday 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. and that is Bangladesh time. That will probably be midnight here, but still okay with me. I've become like a night owl in the last few weeks or so. So we will use that 3 hours to the best of our advantage. So we'll have all the social discussion, Q&A if you have any concern, and I would like to know a lot about all of you, so I'll get to know about yourself. So we'll spend that time for those discussion, but I will upload the weekly lectures in the form of various topics that we have, and you'll find all of those in the course outline that will be facilitated to you. So I'm very excited to teach this course and get to know a lot about all of you, because I know this is an MBA course, and I'm expecting a lot of you are bringing lots of industry experience from different sectors. So I'm really excited to learn a lot from you, because I feel that learning is a two-way process. It's never a didactic process where one person on the other side will always speak and the others will listen. To me, that's a redundant education. The real value of education is that it's a two-way process. So I'd like to learn a lot from all of you in this course. Then I will teach you. So I will use this as a win-win situation and creating a synergistic relationship among us. So let's do that. Before I conclude, I'd just like to probably reflect upon my teaching style, adding to that, empowering you into the learning process. I'd like to say that I love the quote by Benjamin Franklin, who says that, "Tell me I forget, teach me I may remember, involve me I learn." So you really have to believe that learning is a process where you need to involve yourself. It's not a reactive process, rather it has to be a very proactive process where you need to take the ownership of your learning. You could sit in front of the best lecturer and in the best university in the world, but if you don't open up yourself, you wouldn't learn anything. The analogy that I use is that our mind is like a parachute. It only works when it opens up. So you need to open up your mind. If you don't open up your mind, I can speak here for 100 hours and then it's not going to make any difference to you. So please open up your mind and let's learn a lot about this course, and hopefully I will meet with all of you virtually, of course, but probably in person as well. So good luck, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you all in our upcoming session on Monday from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Take care. Bye.